Hi, my name is Steve Houston, and you already know that since you're on my channel. This is where we talk about mortgage section and final expense. We provide the facts, and we allow you to decide what's best for you. This week, we're going to answer that question: is mortgage section and final expense possibly the perfect business for you to start? I just want to say up front, I appreciate every one of you that have contacted me, emailed me, texted me over the last couple of weeks. I've been kind of dealing with my mother's ill health back in Florida. But you know, the great thing about this business is just that, is that we're able as insurance agents to build a residual and even quite possibly a leverage-based income so that as we all get older, and we do that, then our family gets older as well. We may very well need to be there in terms of providing support, both physically by being there and also financially. So in order to go out there in this great industry and provide or produce an excess is a phenomenal thing. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to do that and to focus on that. But I'm back now. I just want to get a quick video out today so you know that I'm still here. I've got big plans, more content coming up this week, and some great topics I think that you'll like. We're going to talk about IULs and actually how those IULs work. So again, please leave some comments below. Mash the bell there, which means you're going to get instant notifications. Hit the subscribe button, but make a comment. I love the comments. I'm probably a little bit behind on responding to some of them, but I'll get to them as soon as possible. This week, what we're going to talk about why mortgage section and final expense might very well be the perfect small business for you to start, right? So we're going to cover some topics. The first thing I want to talk about, can I work from home, right? Well, yes. I mean, it's a short answer. I mean, most small businesses, the people that start small business, at least on a part-time basis, they have limited cash flow, limited money to invest, and they, of course, they want to go out and rent an office or rent a retail space. They want to start from home. And in this business, I mean, there probably are IMOs out there that will provide you, the agency, maybe not the IMO, they will provide you a desk and a space to work. We have that option too in our local area, but it's really not necessary. If you're sitting at the desk, you're not making any money, right? So all you need is a phone, and you can get an app for your phone that allows you to have a different phone number other than your cell number, which I strongly recommend to dial from. So you present yourself as a professional in business, and then make dials from home. That's the great thing about this business is that your home is your office. The next one is can I do it part-time? And I think this is a big one. Part-time, being in the business part-time doesn't necessarily mean part-time focus. As an insurance agent, everybody needs our product, right? I mean, final expense, mortgage section, life insurance, living benefits, everybody that you run into, we already know that, 50% of the Americans out there don't have any type of insurance at all. But I would argue that even most of those don't have the new living benefits. So everybody's your client, right? So to be able to work part-time is great, but you shouldn't be focusing it on part-time, especially if you want to transition into this great career full-time. You want to get it full-time focus, maybe part-time effort, right? Even when you're at work or you're on your break or before going to work, coming home from work, you should be thinking, about people you can contact or connect with about your products. Because again, the last thing we want to have as insurance agents is to have someone need our product and we didn't do our job in making sure they understood that we are professionals and we can help them and give them advice in that area. So yes, I think you could do it part-time. That's the first thing is I'll give it full-time focus, part-time effort. The other thing is that you have, really the only expense that we have in this business is leads. Most brick and mortar businesses do advertising to get people in the door. We buy leads. If you're working with IMO that has a good lead program, it is a leads-based sales opportunity. I think that's the biggest part where people kind of hurt their success is they come in here and they want to do it friends, family, and neighbors, and you can do that, but you can never really do it consistently. So to be able to have a lead or fresh people you can talk to every single week that are interested in what we have to offer allows you to get good at a couple things, which is getting leads, booking appointments, and going out there and running those appointments and writing sales, not prospecting. So in our business, our advertising budget that we want to set, and we all need to have, whether it's $100 a month, $200 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month. Some people have $2,000 a month that they're investing, but they're making multiple six figures a year with that kind of an income, that kind of a advertising budget. So understand leads is our advertising budget. So you might want to start out at $100 a month, then go to $250 a month or $250 a week is what I would recommend, right? Get to $250 a week as soon as possible. Again, it depends on what you're trying to earn in this business. If you're looking to make one sale a week and make $500 to $1,000 a week in commissions, you may not need to spend that much money. But figure out, again, I've got a couple of videos up there that talks about the 10-6-3 program. Figure out how much you want to make, and then by that, I can tell you how many appointments you should set. You should be closing 50% of your sales. So if you want to make one sale a week, you need to have a minimum two appointments, and I would argue that you're putting yourself under undue pressure. 3 to 4 appointments should generate you 1 or 2 sales. But again, if you're trying to set 3 or 4 appointments, you can't have 5 leads, especially if you work in the older leads. So just remember that it's a great part-time business. You can run 3 or 4 appointments. You can easily run 2 or 3 appointments in an evening after you get off from work. You can certainly do it on the weekends, right? And you can easily make $500 to $1,000, $1,500 a week part-time. And for most people, that surpasses their full-time job. So can you make a lot of money? It's the next thing I kind of wrote down in my notes. Can you make a lot of money? Well, yes. I mean, that's why we all do this, right? It's, you have residual income. So you're building a book of business that's yours, that will, let me tell you something, folks. There's nothing like residual income. It's a money tree, basically. I mean, I every day I wake up, I get, several $100s deposited in my bank account residually. That means that when I am taking care of family, or when I am vacationing, or I just don't want to work, I've got money coming in. It's a huge, huge deal. Right? So I think that's extremely important to understand that, yes, you can make a lot of money. It's also you're building something for retirement. It is a residual income, right? So the answer is resounding yes. I mean, most people, this is a highly, highly, highly profitable business, profitable industry. It's only $1 trillion industry on the planet. But most companies, you're going to start out at 70%. I mean, I've been around sales most of my life. I talked to a lot of salespeople. I mean, look, we hire a lot of real estate people that do this business part-time, and in real estate, they're making 2 or 3%. On average, you should make 70%. So the average sale in the industry is $1,000. That means you're going to make about $700 deposited in your bank account next day. I mean, I don't know where else you can go and make that kind of money legally, right? Especially doing what we're doing, which is it's not hard labor. It's putting a nice shirt on and going in the car and going out there and visiting people in their homes and making friends and protecting families and allowing them or helping them to keep the promise that they made to their next generation, right? So, it's phenomenal to be in this business if you're just willing to give yourself some time to be bad before you're good. I mean, cut yourself some slack, especially if you're starting out part-time. You want to give yourself 2 or 3 months to really get good, but you should close 50% of your sales. So if you're setting 4 appointments, that should generate 2 sales at an average of $1,000 a piece, what we call APV, right? That's about $1,400 of commissions. I mean, that's easily part-time, very, very good part-time money, and I would argue that it probably replace a lot of people in this. Let's watch this video. Full-time job. The next thing I want to talk about is no equipment. I think this is huge. I mean, the times that I've ventured away from the insurance business as an investor, I bought into a silk screening and embroidery business. I was buying a lot of embroidered shirts and silk screens. I had this idea that I'd get in the business myself. And we had easily $200,000-$300,000 worth of equipment on the ground. Mind you, not paid for. We had to pay for it, right? So you had all this money going out for equipment costs that you had to make. We had to at one time make $50,000 a month in sales just to cover the cost of having the equipment on the ground before anybody got paid, right? So the fact that you can get in this business and have virtually no equipment. I mean, you can do paper apps, but worst case scenario, if you want to do electronic apps, you go out and buy a tablet. All of us have tablets anyways. So really no equipment other than a car, right? And you need that anyway. So the next one is no inventory. Again, going back to my earlier experiences in business, that's a big deal. I mean, many businesses, their inventory is beef patties, right? Go watch the big beef patty video. They have to have, a lot of hamburgers in their freezer in order to service the customers. They have 3 hamburgers. By the time the 4th customer comes in that day, they're out of business, right? So inventory is a big deal. right? So we have no inventory. I mean, you don't even have to inventory even the applications, and we can do those electronically. But if you needed brochures, you needed applications, guess what? The carriers give them to you for free. Even if you, so that's our only inventory is marketing materials, and we don't pay for those, right? So, okay, maybe a business card. And that's really not, that's marketing, that's not really inventory, right? So, and the other thing, I love this one, is no employees. No employees. Enough said. You don't want employees. I mean, if you decide to build an agency, they're not your employees. They're 1099 contractors. They work for themselves, and you're more of a coach and a mentor than you are than you are an employer, right? And you shouldn't be in the training business. You should be with an IMO that provides the training for those agents, and you become more of a cheerleader, coach, mentor. I call it really an air traffic controller. Keep people on track, tell them where they need to go to get that training, but you don't get in the training mode because it takes away from your personal production, right? So the other thing is low, and it kind of goes in hand to hand with this other stuff, low upfront cost. Yeah, I mean, there's no cost here. I mean, most IMOs you join, they don't charge you to join. You have no cost there at all, right? The contracting, with the different carriers, there's a cost there, but you don't pay it; they pay it, right? The only thing you really have to do is spend maybe $200 to $300, maybe, in your licensing. That's it. Every 2 years you have you do CE credits and renew your license, but it's not. It's a low upfront cost. I mean, it really is. So low upfront cost is a big deal. Here's another one. Successful. Can I be successful? I'm just looking at my monitor to make sure, but I'm not off the screen with my writing here. Successful in my own area. You know, in other words, do I have to travel? Well, we're talking about a huge market, and I think I am starting to lose my writing here, right? So a huge market. So can you be successful in your own backyard? Absolutely. You know, if you're running leads, you should go where leads are. So if there's not enough leads in your area, you might have to go out 2-3 hours, but really doesn't require national travel or even international travel for that matter. Maybe I can go over here. So the next thing I want, let's keep moving on. So yeah, so successful in your own backyard or in your own area is why we do this, right? Is it a large market? Let me just go up here. Is it a large market? Well, I already said that it's the only $1 trillion market or industry on the planet. So is it a large market? Absolutely. You know, and you got more than enough customers to contact, and more than enough customers that actually wanting people to contact. And again, it's just by people are born every day. Can I be independent? Yes. It's an easy one. You're a 1099 contractor, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. You can do exactly what you want. Now, should you? Could you? What, do you want to do that? I don't know. You know, many of you are out there independent already with IMOs that won't train you, and you're kind of a fish out of water, so to speak, and not getting the training you need. So yes, you're independent. Yes, you can do what you want to do, as long as it's legal and ethical, according to keep your license intact, right? But yeah, I mean, you are independent. You can. There's no quotas, or there shouldn't be. You can work the hours you want to work. You can make the sales you want to make for the month, or none at all. That's all fine. But you should plug into proper training and get some support. You should have a mentor or a coach that will kind of help show you the way, and not try to be out there on an island by yourself, because it is a simple business, but it's not easy. I mean, there's some certain skills that you need. In other words, phone skills and in-home presentation skills, and and being able to do case strategies and strategize a case and put that customer in the right product, so you're not getting declines or rated, and all that stuff going on. And we do all that for our agents. We provide the phone support. We provide we help them with their cases all the step of the way. Do worksheets, run the rates. So you need that, but you are independent. You can choose your own deal, right? Here's a good one. Can I, what about getting paid? Can I get paid daily? I love this one. There's a lot of companies out there that talk about getting paid daily. Yes, as long as you're writing policies and those policies are getting approved and issued and put out there, you're going to get paid. This is what I love about the business. Once that policy is issued and paid, the money should be deposited in your bank account within 24 hours, right? So if you're writing policies on a regular basis, you're going to get paid on a regular basis, right? So, those are some thoughts. So work from home, yes, part-time is great. I mean, I think it's the best way to start in this business because, and I discussed it, I don't want to reiterate it, but here's the point. It doesn't put you under financial pressure to have to perform right away. Being in this business full-time and having to make a paycheck this week is not where you want to be. I think part-time is fantastic. Yes, you can make a lot of money. Part-timers making, $100,000 plus a year, working 2 nights a week. I consider that the best part-time job in America. No equipment, huge. No inventory, even more huge. No employees, huger, right? Low upfront cost just to get your license. There really isn't any ongoing cost, or shouldn't be. You shouldn't pay for technology. You shouldn't, other than your leads, which falls in the category of your advertising budget. Successful in your area, yes. As long as you don't live in the middle of nowhere, where there's no, you need population here, right? You need homes. If you work in the leads-based sales opportunity, you need population and being in an area where there's a lot of population, and there is home sales or refis going on in order to because that's what generates the leads. So large market is huge. I mean, huge. Imagine half the country doesn't have our product but needs it. They all need it, whether they know it or not. They need it, and eventually they will know it. And even half the ones that do have it don't have enough. Go back and watch my video on how much insurance you need, or I have insurance in my job, because that kind of lays it out to explain to people that $100,000 is not going to provide your family much of anything, right? Even if it pays off the mortgage, it doesn't provide any loss of income, right? When somebody passes away, not only do you lose them, you lose their paycheck forever. So there's a loss of income, and that income needs to be replaced even after you pay off the mortgage. I mean, your mortgage is not your only expense, right? So you have other things you need to pay for, and that income loss will make a difference. So you may need to monitor that. So, and can I be independent? Absolutely. So I love this business. I'm standing here right now doing a video for you, and then later on this evening I'll be out running lead appointments. And Angela right now is out, and she just closed a sale just about an hour ago. So you can work your own schedule. That's what I love about it. We work from home. You probably heard my dog barking a few minutes ago. We have a remote office. We don't go in there very often. We have agents, staff there, so to help people with onboarding and whatnot. But we work from home 90% of the time. So we're able to be around our home, be around our dog, and leave for appointments. And it's great. I mean, it's a phenomenal lifestyle. And if you can start out part-time, you should be making $50,000 to $100,000 a year, just working at a couple nights, even 1 night a week. Again, 10 appointments. You should see 6 families. You'll write 3 apps. Question is how much time do you need to run 6 appointments? You could do it in a day on a Saturday. You could do 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. You could do 2 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and 2 on Wednesday. However you want to do it, it's not going to come out to be a full-time job at all, right? So, is it a perfect business for you? I think you have to decide that. But I don't know where else you can go and start a part-time business with such a low investment, a low cost, and have such a huge potential, shift in your finances. I mean, the upside is it could be $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. I mean, you literally could make that much money starting out with what? $200 license, $300 license, get a budget of at least $100 to $200 a week for a lead. So why do you buy leads? It's simple. You buy leads, like I said earlier, so you can guarantee yourself that you're in front of people that want your product every single week. You can't do that with referrals, and you can't do that with friends, family, and neighbors. You should mix all that in. But if you need to make $1,000 a week, I can promise you that you and I can come up with a formula to make sure you have enough appointments with people that have expressed interest, raise their hand, send a form in that you can sit in front of, and even no matter how bad you are just starting out, you should close 50% of those. If you're at 30%, okay, so then you need for every 3 appointments you're going to write 1 app. Well, 1 app should generate you $700 a week if that's all you closed. Well, $700 a week, that's $2,800 a month. There are a lot of people that don't make $2,800 a week. $2,800 a month in their full-time jobs, right? So the transition from part-time to full-time can be very quick. But you have to be willing, I call it the I quit factor. You have to be willing to not quit. Be willing to be bad. You have to learn certain skills. And if you've never been in this business before, it's going to take you, maybe 90 days to get up to speed. Is that a bad investment of time to generate the kind of income we're talking about here? If you get good at booking appointments, if you get good at making a presentation in the home, being yourself, people buy from people they like, know, and trust. So that's what your challenge is. You got to be likable. They have to feel like they know you, and they feel like they have to trust you. Other than that, the numbers fall where the numbers fall. As long as you're giving them some options, they'll choose one because they feel comfortable with you and because you showed up. I have a lot of people tell me that, hey, listen, you're the only one that showed up. Other agents have booked appointments, but they don't show up. So showing up is a big part of this, right? So is this a perfect small business for you? You have to decide that. But I think it's a fantastic business, and I think it's the best part-time business in America, right? So as usual, leave me some comments below. Hit the bell, as I said before. Hit the subscribe button. I love talking to you. I want to do it more, at least once a week. We are setting up a different studio where I can go in and hit the switches, and we can do a lot more detailed stuff, better lighting, better work, and get really into the details of the products and how to sell them. So, be part of what we're doing here. And make some comments. I'd love to get to know you. If you want to have a phone conversation, my stuff's below. You can call me on my cell. You can email me. You can text me. I love, again, talking to all of you about your dreams and desires, and get you. Look, this industry needs you. Whether you're working with us or working with whoever, I just want you to make a good decision on the IMO, so you're not regretting it a year, 2 years later. Because let me tell you something. They're going to hold you to a 6-month contract. So you might be independent, but you're under contract. So you're going to sit the industry out. So make a good quality decision on the front end. And if I can help you with that, my contact information is below. Thanks for being part of the channel, and we love you all. Bye-bye.